The night shift at Frontier Outpost 47 was quiet as usual. Elias Novak sat alone in the monitoring room. His job was simple: watch the screens for anything unusual in this empty part of space. Most nights nothing happened. This night was different. A strange sound came from his equipment. At first he thought it was just noise, but the sound had a pattern. It was like music in a way, with ups and downs that repeated. Elias checked his systems. This was not a normal human signal. "Hey, you should listen to this," he called to his supervisor, Linda, who was passing by with a cup of coffee. Linda stopped and listened for a moment. Probably just some space noise. Happens all the time out here. She shrugged and walked away, but Elias couldn't let it go. He spent the next 3 hours tracking the signal. It was coming from the asteroid belt about 2 hours away by scout ship. Something about it felt important. He couldn't explain why, but he felt drawn to it. When his shift ended, Elias didn't go to sleep like he usually did. Instead, he went to the ship bay and looked at the small scout vessel. He wasn't supposed to take it without permission. But what if the signal was someone in trouble? By the time he got permission, it might be too late. "Just a quick maintenance check," he told the bay manager. "I think I heard something odd in the asteroid belt. Probably nothing, but I should check it out." The bay manager didn't really care. She just made a note in her log and waved him through. Soon Elias was flying through the darkness of space. The stars looked like tiny dots of light all around him. His ship was small but fast. The signal grew stronger as he got closer to it. After 2 hours, he saw something shining among the asteroids. It wasn't a rock. It was a ship, but unlike any he had seen before. Its shape was smooth and curved, not blocky like human ships. It seemed to be made of a metal that changed color slightly as he looked at it. The ship wasn't moving. It was just floating there, powerless. Elias checked his scanner. There was someone alive in there. Just one life sign, but it wasn't reading as human. His heart beat faster. This could be the first contact with an alien species. He should call the outpost and wait for the proper team to arrive. But his scanner also showed that the life support systems on the strange ship were failing. Whoever was in there might not live for another 12 hours. That's how long it would take for a team to get here from the outpost. "I can't just let them die," Elias said to himself. He made his decision. He carefully moved his ship closer to the alien vessel. He could see damage on its surface now. It looked like the ship had been in a fight. There were burn marks that could only come from weapons. Finding an airlock wasn't easy, but after circling the ship twice, he spotted what looked like an entry point. He lined up his scout ship and connected to it. The systems showed a good seal. He could enter without losing air. Elias put on his spacesuit just to be safe. He didn't know what kind of air was in the alien ship, or if there was any at all now. He grabbed his toolkit and emergency medical pack. Then he opened the door between the ships. The alien ship's airlock opened with a soft hiss. Elias stepped through, his flashlight cutting through the dim interior. The air was breathable according to his suit sensors, so he lifted his helmet visor. A sweet smell filled his nose, like cinnamon, but also something else he couldn't name. The walls around him gave off a soft amber light. They seemed to be alive somehow, pulsing gently. The floor curved in a way that felt natural to walk on. Everything was so different from the hard, straight lines of human ships. Elias followed his scanner, which showed the life sign was deeper in the ship. He walked through hallways that curved and twisted like they were grown rather than built. The ship seemed damaged but not destroyed. Many systems were offline, but the structure was sound. He came to a large room that had to be the engine room. In the center was a crystal structure, now dark and cracked. And beside it, working with some kind of tool, was the ship's pilot. She turned when he entered, and Elias froze in place. She was tall and slender, with skin the color of penny coins that seemed to shift slightly in the light. Her face was almost human in shape, but she had 3 eyes, all a deep purple color. Her hair wasn't really hair at all, but something like thin tentacles that moved on their own around her head. She made a sound, a series of clicks and musical notes. Then she touched a small device at her throat and spoke again. "You are not Vordari," the device translated into English with a slight delay. "You are the enemy species?" Elias raised his empty hands to show he wasn't a threat. "I'm human. I received your distress signal. I came to help if I can." He pointed to himself. "I'm an engineer. My name is Elias." The alien woman studied him for a long moment. Her 3 eyes blinked at different times, which was strange to watch. Finally, she seemed to decide he wasn't dangerous. "I am Kaya," she said through her translator. My ship was attacked. The power core is damaged. She pointed to the broken crystal in the center of the room. Elias walked closer to look at it. Despite being alien technology, he could see it was an energy system of some kind. The principles might be similar to what he knew. The Vordari did this, Kaya continued. They hunt my people. I am the last one alive from my crew. I'm sorry, Elias said. He studied the broken crystal more closely. I think I might be able to help fix this, but I'll need to bring some parts from my ship, and we don't have much time. Your life support is almost gone. Kaya's skin changed color slightly, showing patches of blue. Elias wondered if that was how her people showed emotion. Why would you help me? She asked. You do not know me or my people. Elias shrugged. Because you need help. That's enough reason for me. For the first time, Kaya's face made an expression he could understand. It looked like hope. Elias rushed back to his scout ship to get his tools and spare parts. He didn't know if human technology would work with Kaya's ship, but he had to try. When he returned, Kaya was examining the damaged crystal core with a device that looked like a small wand. Our ships are very different, Elias said as he set down his toolkit. Can you tell me how yours works? Kaya nodded. My people, the Lissari, do not build ships like yours. We grow them from special crystals. She pointed to the walls around them. The ship is partly alive. It works with the pilot through a connection. Elias was amazed. You mean you're connected to the ship somehow? Like it responds to your thoughts? Yes, Kaya said. But now the main crystal is broken. The connection is weak. Ship systems are failing. Her 3 purple eyes looked at Elias's tools with doubt. I do not think your metal tools will help with living crystal. Elias wasn't ready to give up. Let me look at the damage first. Maybe there's something I can do. Kaya showed him how to safely approach the core. The crystal was the size of a small car, with cracks running through it like spider webs. It had once glowed with blue light, but now only the faintest spark remained in its center. The crystal needs energy to heal itself, Kaya explained. But the backup power is almost gone. Not enough to start the healing process, Elias thought hard. What kind of energy does it need? Electrical heat? Something else? Energy is energy, Kaya said. The form doesn't matter. The crystal converts it. That gave Elias an idea. My ship's battery could provide power. If we can find a way to connect it to your crystal, maybe that would be enough to start the healing. Kaya's skin rippled with colors. Blue and gold patches appeared and disappeared. Elias guessed this meant she was excited or hopeful. It might work, she said, but we need a conductor that works with both our technologies. They spent the next few hours trying different materials. Elias went back and forth to his ship, bringing everything he could think of that might help. Nothing seemed to work until he remembered the special cables in his emergency repair kit. They were made of a new alloy designed to connect with almost any system. Let's try these, he said, holding up the cables. They're made to adapt to different types of connections. Kaya examined the cables with her 3 eyes blinking in that strange pattern. These might work. The material seems compatible. Together they carefully connected Elias's ship battery to the damaged crystal core. It was difficult work. They had to make sure the energy flow wouldn't be too much at once. Too much power could shatter the crystal completely. While they worked, Kaya told Elias about her people and their war with the Vordari. The Lissari were a peaceful species who had developed amazing technology based on living crystals. The Vordari were predators who wanted the crystal technology for themselves. My mission was to find allies, Kaya explained as they adjusted the power settings. My ship can travel very far, farther than any other Lissari ship. I was searching for other species who might help us against the Vordari. Elias found himself fascinated by her story. And instead you found me. Yes, Kaya said. Her middle eye seemed to focus on him, while the other 2 checked the crystal, 1 human instead of a fleet of allies. But you are trying to help. That means something. Finally, they were ready to try powering the crystal. Elias took a deep breath. Here goes nothing. He activated the connection. At first, nothing happened. Then slowly, a faint blue glow appeared in the center of the crystal. The glow spread outward, following the crack lines but not healing them yet. It's working, Elias said excitedly. The crystal is accepting the power. Kaya's skin lit up with bright blue patches. Yes, now we must give it time to build enough energy to begin healing. They watched the crystal for several hours. Slowly, the blue light grew stronger. Some of the smaller cracks began to close. The walls of the ship, which had been dim, started to glow more brightly. "The ship is responding," Kaya said. She placed her hand on the wall, and the light pulsed under her touch. "It recognizes me again." Elias couldn't believe what he was seeing. The technology was far beyond anything humans had developed. "This is amazing. The crystal is actually healing itself." "Yes, but it will take time," Kaya said. "At least a full day before basic systems are working again." Elias suddenly remembered his job. "I should call my outpost. They'll be wondering where I am." He checked his communicator but found no signal. The asteroid belt was blocking transmission. He would have to move his ship to a clear area to send a message. "I need to reposition my ship to contact my base," he told Kaya. "Will you be okay for a while?" Kaya nodded. "Yes, I must rest now. The connection with the ship takes energy from me too." Elias returned to his scout ship and undocked from Kaya's vessel. He moved to a clearer area and sent a message to Outpost 47. "This is Engineer Novak. I'm investigating a signal in the asteroid belt. We'll return by tomorrow. Everything is fine." He knew he wasn't telling the whole truth, but he couldn't explain finding an alien ship in a short message. Besides, he wasn't sure how his superiors would react. They might order him to leave Kaya and wait for a first contact team. After sending the message, he returned to Kaya's ship and docked again. When he entered the engine room, he found Kaya sitting cross-legged next to the crystal, her eyes closed. She seemed to be in some kind of trance. Not wanting to disturb her, Elias sat down against the wall to wait. He was tired after the long day. Without meaning to, he fell asleep. He woke up to find Kaya standing over him, offering a small container of something that looked like water but had a slight blue tint. "Drink," she said. "It will help with your energy." Elias hesitated, then took the container. The liquid tasted sweet and made him feel instantly refreshed. "Thank you. How is the crystal?" "Better," Kaya said, leading him to the core. Look, the crystal was now glowing much more brightly. Many of the cracks had healed, though the largest ones remained. The walls of the ship pulsed with stronger light. "Life support is working again," Kaya said, "and basic ship systems. But we still cannot move or defend ourselves." "Defend?" Elias asked. "Do you think the Vordari will find you here?" Kaya's skin darkened with patches of gray. "They hunt very well. They will have tracked my path. It is only a matter of time." Elias felt a chill. "Then we need to work faster. What else can we do to speed up the healing?" "We need more power," Kaya said. "And we need to repair the navigation crystal manually." She pointed to a smaller crystal near the main core. "That one does not self-heal." Elias examined the navigation crystal. It was completely dark with a clean break through its center. "Can it be fixed?" "Yes, but I need special tools from the storage room," Kaya said. "The problem is that the path is blocked by damaged sections of the ship." "Show me," Elias said. "Maybe I can get through." Kaya led him through the ship to a section where the corridor was partially collapsed. The gap was too small for her taller frame, but Elias thought he could squeeze through. "I'll go," he said. "Just tell me what to look for." Kaya described the tools: crystal binders that looked like glowing wands and a special liquid that helped crystals fuse together. Elias nodded and began to squeeze through the damaged section. It was tighter than he expected. Sharp edges scraped against his suit, but he made it through and found the storage room. Following Kaya's instructions, he collected the tools and the containers of glowing liquid. Getting back was harder with his arms full, but he managed. When he returned, Kaya's 3 eyes widened. "You found them all," she said, taking the tools. "Now we can truly begin repairs." Together, they started the delicate work of fixing the navigation crystal. Elias followed Kaya's instructions carefully, holding pieces in place while she used the crystal binder to fuse them. The work was precise and required complete focus. As they worked side by side, Elias couldn't help noticing how graceful Kaya's movements were. Despite their differences, he found himself drawn to her. There was something about her that fascinated him beyond the alien technology. "Why did the Vordari attack you?" he asked as they waited for a section to fuse. Kaya's skin darkened again. "They attack all Lissari ships. They want our crystal technology, and they hate that we refuse to give it to them peacefully. Have they attacked humans before?" "I do not know," Kaya said. "But if they find us together, they will attack you too." The second day of repairs went by quickly. Elias and Kaya worked well together. Though their technologies were different, The basic principles were similar enough. Elias was amazed by how the Lasari crystals responded to Kaya's touch. Sometimes she didn't even need tools. She could simply place her hands on a damaged section and focus, and the crystal would begin to heal faster. "How do you do that?" Elias asked after watching her repair a control panel with just her touch. "All Lasari have a connection to the crystals," Kaya explained. "It is part of us. The ships choose their pilots based on how strong the connection is." Her skin rippled with soft gold colors. "My connection is very strong. That is why I was chosen for this mission." As they worked, Kaya told him more about her world. The Lasari lived on a planet with 2 suns. Their cities floated in the air, held up by massive crystals. The cities stayed in the twilight zone where it was never too hot or too cold. "It sounds beautiful," Elias said as he helped her align a new piece of crystal in the navigation system. "It is," Kaya said. Her 3 eyes looked sad. "Or it was. The Vordari have destroyed many of our cities. That is why finding allies is so important." By the evening of the 2nd day, they had made good progress. The main crystal was now glowing strongly, healing itself more quickly. The navigation system was almost repaired. Basic life support and internal systems were working normally. "We should rest," Kaya said. "Tomorrow we can finish the propulsion system." She led Elias to a room that had comfortable cushions on the floor. The walls glowed with a soft, calming light that changed colors slowly. "This is a rest chamber," she explained. "The light patterns help with sleep." Elias sat down on one of the cushions. It molded to his body perfectly. "This is more comfortable than my bed at the outpost." Kaya sat across from him. "Your outpost, what will they be looking for you?" Elias had almost forgotten about that. He checked his communicator. There were 3 messages from Outpost 47 asking for updates. He should have checked in hours ago. "I need to send them another message," he said. "They're getting worried." "Can you tell them about me?" Kaya asked. "Would your people help mine against the Vordari?" That was a complicated question. First contact situations had strict protocols, but those protocols assumed controlled conditions, not a damaged ship hiding in an asteroid belt with enemies possibly on the way. "I don't know," Elias answered honestly. "Our leaders would have to decide." "It might take time you don't have." Kaya nodded, understanding. "Then for now, perhaps it is better they do not know about me." Elias went back to his scout ship and sent a brief message to the outpost. He claimed he was tracking an unusual mineral deposit in the asteroid belt that might be valuable. It would give him another day before they got too suspicious. When he returned, Kaya had prepared a meal. The food looked like small glowing cubes. "Can you eat our food?" she asked. "I checked it against the information in your ship's computer. It should be safe for you." Elias was touched by her thoughtfulness. He tried one of the cubes. It tasted like sweet fruit with a hint of something spicy. "It's good," he said, surprised. They ate together, talking more about their worlds. Elias told her about Earth, about oceans and mountains and forests. Kaya had never seen a large body of water before. Her world had only small lakes. "I would like to see your ocean someday," she said. "Maybe you will," Elias replied, though he wasn't sure how that would work. Human-alien relations would be complicated, especially with the Vordari threat. After eating, they both needed rest. The ship's healing was using energy from Kaya, and Elias was tired from the physical work of repairs. They fell asleep in the rest chamber, each on their own cushions. Elias woke suddenly in the middle of the night. An alarm was sounding, a soft but urgent chiming. Kaya was already up, her skin pale with gray patches. "What is it?" Elias asked, jumping to his feet. "The ship's sensors are working again," Kaya said. "They have detected something approaching. Something big." They rushed to the control room. The main display showed a large object moving toward the asteroid belt. It was still far away, but its path would bring it right to them. "Is it Vordari?" Elias asked. Kaya's hands moved over the controls, which responded to her touch with glowing patterns. "Yes, a hunter ship. Much bigger than mine." Her voice was tight with fear. "They must have tracked my distress signal. How long do we have?" 6 hours, maybe less." Kaya turned to him, her 3 eyes wide. "My ship cannot fight. It is a scout vessel, not a warship. And even if it was, we are not fully repaired." Elias thought quickly. "Then we need to hide better or run." He looked at the display. "Can your ship move at all?" Kaya checked her systems. "Yes, basic propulsion is working, but not the faster-than-light drive. We can only move slowly." "That might be enough," Elias said. My outpost can't help us. They don't have any military ships. But there's a mining station on the other side of the asteroid belt. It has heavy equipment that might protect us. How far? About 4 hours at your ship's current speed. Kaya's skin showed patches of blue. Hope. Then we should go now. They spent the next hour finishing the most critical repairs. The ship couldn't fight, but it could move. Elias helped Kaya reroute power from non-essential systems to strengthen the shields and propulsion. What about your scout ship? Kaya asked as they prepared to leave. Elias hadn't thought about that. His small vessel couldn't keep up with Kaya's ship, even at its reduced speed. And leaving it behind would mean he would have no way to return to the outpost. I'll have to leave it, he decided. We can send a remote signal to have it return to the outpost on autopilot. You would abandon your ship for me? Kaya asked, surprised. I'm not abandoning you, Elias said firmly. We started this together, we'll finish it together. Kaya's skin rippled with gold colors. She reached out and touched his face gently. Thank you, Elias of Earth. The touch sent a strange but pleasant tingle through his skin. He found himself wishing the moment would last longer, but there was no time. They set up the autopilot program for his scout ship, then undocked it and sent it on its way back to Outpost 47. Elias watched it go on the display screen, feeling a mixture of worry and excitement. He had just committed himself fully to helping Kaya. There was no turning back now. With the scout ship gone, they started Kaya's ship's engines. The crystal core hummed with power, and the ship moved smoothly out from its hiding place among the asteroids. We need to stay close to the larger asteroids, Kaya said, as she guided the ship. They will help hide us from the Vordari sensors. Elias watched her pilot the ship. Her movements were graceful, almost like she was dancing with the controls. The ship responded to her touch in a way that seemed almost magical to him. Your technology is amazing, he said. The way you connect with the ship. Humans have theorized about systems like this, but we've never made them work. It took my people many generations to develop this connection, Kaya said. The crystals must be grown with specific properties and pilots must train from childhood. They navigated carefully through the asteroid belt, using the larger rocks as cover. For 2 hours they made good progress. The mining station was still far, but they were moving steadily toward it. Then the alarm sounded again, louder this time. They've found us, Kaya said, her voice tight. The Vordari ship has changed course. It's coming directly for us. Elias checked the display. The enemy ship was moving fast, much faster than they could. How long until they reach us? Less than an hour. Kaya's hands moved quickly over the controls, trying to squeeze more speed from the damaged systems. We won't reach the mining station in time. Elias refused to give up. Then we need a new plan. He studied the map of the asteroid belt. Look, there's a dense cluster of asteroids ahead. If we can get there, maybe we can hide better. It's worth trying, Kaya agreed. She changed course toward the asteroid cluster. As they approached the dense field of rocks, Elias had another idea. Does your ship have any kind of mining equipment? Anything that could move or break asteroids? Kaya thought for a moment. Yes, we have gravity manipulators for collecting mineral samples. They're not very powerful, but they might move small asteroids. Perfect, Elias said. If we can't fight, maybe we can set a trap instead. Together they worked out a plan. They would enter the dense asteroid cluster, then use the gravity manipulators to shift some of the smaller rocks. If they could create a rock slide in space, it might damage or at least slow down the Vordari ship. It was a desperate plan, but it was all they had. The Vordari ship was getting closer every minute. Its weapons would be in range soon. Kaya guided her ship deep into the asteroid cluster. The path was dangerous. Rocks the size of buildings floated all around them. One wrong move could cause a collision. There! Elias pointed to a group of asteroids that seemed unstable. If we use the gravity manipulator on that one, it might hit the others and start a chain reaction. Kaya aimed the manipulator and activated it. A beam of energy shot out from the ship and connected with the asteroid. Slowly the rock began to move. It's working, Elias said excitedly. But then another alarm sounded. Energy weapons, Kaya said. They're in range. They're firing! The first energy blast from the Vordari ship missed them by meters, hitting an asteroid instead. The rock exploded into thousands of pieces that scattered in all directions. Some hit Kaya's ship, making it shake. Shields at 60%, Kaya reported. her fingers dancing across the control panel. Her skin had turned a pale gray color that Elias now recognized as fear. "One direct hit will disable us completely." Elias grabbed onto a support beam to steady himself. "Keep moving the asteroids." "The trap is our only chance," Kaya nodded and focused on the gravity manipulator. The beam pulled more asteroids out of their paths, creating a growing cluster of rocks between them and the approaching Vordari ship. "It's not enough," Kaya said. "They'll just shoot through them." Elias studied the display showing the asteroid field. "Wait, look at that." He pointed to a massive asteroid about half a kilometer wide. "If we could move that one even a little." "The gravity manipulator isn't strong enough for a rock that size," Kaya said. "What if we used the ship itself?" Elias suggested. "Ram it at an angle, use our shields to protect us from the impact." Kaya's eyes widened. "That would damage my ship further." "Better damaged than destroyed," Elias said. "And we only need to nudge it a little to start it moving." After a moment of consideration, Kaya nodded. "Hold on to something." She turned the ship toward the massive asteroid and increased power to the forward shields. The ship accelerated and Elias gripped the support beam tightly. The impact was jarring. Elias almost lost his hold as the ship bounced off the asteroid. Systems sparked around them and new warning lights flashed on the control panel. "Shields at 30%, Kaya reported. But it worked. The huge asteroid was now moving slowly toward the path of the Vordari ship. It wouldn't hit them directly, but it would force them to change course, right into the cluster of smaller asteroids they had moved, with the gravity manipulator. "Now we hide," Elias said. Kaya guided the ship behind another large asteroid and cut power to non-essential systems to reduce their energy signature. They watched the display as the Vordari ship approached. It was massive compared to Kaya's vessel, a dark, angular shape with weapon ports visible along its hull. It moved with predatory grace, adjusting its course to avoid the large asteroid they had set in motion. Just as they had hoped, the maneuver pushed the Vordari ship toward the cluster of smaller, unstable asteroids. The first few impacts were minor, but then a chain reaction started. Asteroids collided with each other, creating a spreading wave of moving rocks that bombarded the Vordari ship. "It's working," Elias exclaimed. On the display they could see the Vordari ship's shields flaring as it was hit repeatedly. But the ship was powerful. It was damaged but still functional. "They're scanning for us," Kaya said, her voice tense. "Their weapons are charging again." Elias looked around desperately for another option. "Can we run now? While they're distracted?" Kaya checked her systems. "Maybe, but we still can't reach the mining station before they catch us." Just then, Elias's communicator beeped. A message from Outpost 47. "Engineer Novak, your scout ship has returned on autopilot. Explain your status immediately. Search team being dispatched to your last known coordinates." "They're sending a search team," Elias told Kaya, "but that could make things worse. If they run into the Vordari ship, your people would be killed." Kaya finished grimly. "The Vordari show no mercy." Elias made a quick decision. He sent a message back. "Danger in asteroid belt. Hostile ship present. Do not send search team. Repeat, do not approach. Contact Central Command for military support." He hoped that would buy them some time and might eventually bring help, though he knew military ships would take days to arrive. "We need to move now," Kaya said. "The Vordari ship is changing course again. They're still hunting us." She reactivated the engines and they slipped away from their hiding place. They weaved through the asteroid field using the rocks as cover. The Vordari ship followed, firing occasionally when they had a clear shot. Each blast came closer than the last. "They're hurting us," Kaya realized suddenly, "driving us toward the edge of the asteroid field where we'll have no cover." Elias saw she was right. The tactical display showed their course being gradually pushed toward open space. Once there, the Vordari ship would easily overtake and destroy them. "We need something unexpected," Elias said. He looked at the ship's systems. "What about the crystal waste?" Every crystal ship produced waste energy that was usually vented safely. But Elias had learned during the repairs that this waste had unusual properties. "The waste storage is nearly full," Kaya confirmed. "But what use is it? If we vent it all at once behind us, would it create a bright energy flash? Something that might blind their sensors temporarily?" Kaya's skin showed patches of blue, hope returning. "Yes, it would. And it might even disrupt their shields if they passed through it. But we would lose a lot of power doing it." "Enough power to still reach the edge of the asteroid field?" Just barely, Kaya said, then let's do it. When we're at the right position, vent everything and then cut all power except life support. We'll drift, playing dead. Kaya guided the ship toward a position where the Vordari would have a clear path to follow them. When they were perfectly aligned, she activated the waste vent sequence. A brilliant blue-white flash erupted behind their ship. The energy burst was beautiful but dangerous. Their own ship shuddered as the power drain hit them. Warning lights flashed across the control panel and the lights dimmed to emergency levels. Now, Elias said. Kaya cut all power except life support. The ship went dark and began to drift. On the sensors, they could see the Vordari ship plowing through the energy cloud, its systems flickering as the unusual energy disrupted its shields. Did it work? Elias whispered, though there was no need to be quiet in space. Kaya watched the tactical display. They're still moving, but slower, and their scan patterns are erratic. I think their sensors are damaged. They drifted silently, watching as the Vordari ship moved past their position, continuing on the course they had been following before cutting power. The enemy was hunting a ghost now. How long can we stay like this? Elias asked. Not long, Kaya said. Maybe an hour before life support fails completely. Elias checked the map again. The mining station is still too far. But look, there's an emergency outpost here. He pointed to a small marker on the edge of the asteroid field. It's just a supply cache with a transmitter, but it might have enough power cells for us to get your ship running again. Can we reach it while drifting? Elias calculated the trajectory. Yes, if we make one small course adjustment now before the Vordari ship turns around. Kaya used the last bit of maneuvering power to adjust their course. The ship responded sluggishly but did turn enough to drift toward the emergency outpost. For 30 tense minutes they floated in silence. The Vordari ship continued to search in the wrong direction. Its sensors were clearly damaged, but they were making repairs. It wouldn't be long before they realized their mistake. The emergency outpost came into view, a small, boxy structure anchored to a tiny asteroid. It wasn't much, but it represented hope. We need to dock, Elias said, but we can't use power or they'll detect us. I can guide us in manually, Kaya said. Using the crystal connection, she placed her hands on a special panel on the control console. Her skin began to glow slightly, and Elias could see she was straining with effort. The ship responded, small crystal fins extending from its hull to catch the minimal gravity of the outpost asteroid. They acted like rudders, slowly turning the ship. That's amazing, Elias said, watching her work. He could see the toll it was taking on her. Her skin was losing its color, turning almost white with the strain. Finally, they bumped gently against the outpost's docking port. The connection wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. I'll go across and get the power cells, Elias said. You rest. Kaya nodded weakly. Hurry, the Vordari will find us soon. Elias put on his spacesuit and crossed to the outpost through a manual airlock. Inside, he found the supply cache intact. There were basic emergency rations, some medical supplies, and most importantly, 4 power cells designed for human ships. These might work, he said to himself, if I can adapt them to Kaya's crystal systems. He gathered the power cells and returned to Kaya's ship. She was still at the control panel but looked exhausted. Her skin was pale and her movement slow. I found power cells, Elias said, but they're designed for human technology. We need to adapt them. Despite her fatigue, Kaya helped him connect the power cells to her ship's systems. It was delicate work, requiring all their combined knowledge. Human technology was based on electricity and metals. Lisari technology used crystal and biological components. Making them work together was like trying to connect a computer to a living tree. We need a buffer, Kaya said, something that can convert the energy safely. Elias thought for a moment, then remembered something from the repairs. What about the navigation crystal? It's designed to process different types of energy, right? Yes, Kaya said, but using it this way might damage it permanently. Do we have a choice? Kaya shook her head. No, let's try it. The Vordari ship loomed large on their display, its weapons ports glowing with deadly energy. They had nowhere to run and no way to fight back. Kaya's ship was still damaged, its shields minimal, and they were trapped against the emergency outpost. Detach from the outpost, Elias said urgently. We need to move. Kaya's hands flew over the controls. The ship shuddered as it pulled away from the docking port. The makeshift power system was working, but barely. Warning lights flashed across the control panel. Navigation crystal is failing, Kaya reported. We have propulsion, but no way to plot a safe course. Elias looked at the tactical display. The Vordari ship was closing fast, but there was a dense section of the asteroid field nearby. Head there, he pointed. If we can't outrun them, maybe we can outmaneuver them. Kaya turned the ship toward the asteroid cluster. It responded sluggishly, the engine straining with the last-minute repairs and jury-rigged power system. The first energy blast from the Vordari ship passed just over them, close enough to make the shields flicker. The second shot clipped their stern, sending the ship spinning. Shields at 15%, Kaya cried as she fought to regain control. Her skin had patches of red now, a color Elias hadn't seen before. He guessed it meant pain or alarm. The ship stabilized and they continued toward the asteroid cluster. But the Vordari ship was faster, cutting off their escape route. We're not going to make it, Kaya said, her voice breaking. I'm sorry, Elias, I've brought you into my war. Elias refused to give up. What about your faster-than-light drive? You said it was damaged, but could we use it for just one jump? Even a short distance? The drive crystal is cracked, Kaya said. Attempting a jump would probably destroy the ship. Probably, Elias repeated. But not definitely. And if we stay here, we're definitely going to be destroyed. Kaya considered this, her 3 eyes blinking in that strange pattern. There is a small chance it could work for one very short jump. But the navigation crystal is failing too. We would be jumping blind. Better than not jumping at all, Elias said. He looked at the display again. Can we aim for that spot? He pointed to an area just beyond the Vordari ship. If we get past them, we might reach the mining station. Kaya nodded and began rerouting power to the faster-than-light drive. The lights in the ship dimmed as energy was diverted. The humming of the crystal core changed pitch, becoming higher and more strained. Prepare for jump, Kaya said. Her hands were steady on the controls, but Elias could see the fear in her eyes. This will be rough. The Vordari ship fired again. This time the blast hit them directly. The ship rocked violently and panels exploded around them. Shields failing, Kaya shouted over the alarms. It's now or never. She activated the faster-than-light drive. The damaged crystal made a high-pitched whine that hurt Elias's ears. The ship shuddered, then seemed to stretch forward impossibly. Stars outside the view screen blurred into lines. The jump lasted only seconds, but they were the longest seconds of Elias's life. The ship felt like it was being torn apart. Warning systems screamed alerts in both human and Lasari languages. Kaya cried out in pain. The ship's damage was affecting her through their connection. Then reality snapped back into place. The stars returned to points of light and the ship reappeared in normal space. Did it work? Elias asked, picking himself up from the floor where he'd been thrown. Kaya checked the sensors, which were barely functioning. Yes, we're past the Vordari ship, but... She paused, looking concerned. We're not where we aimed for. The navigation crystal failed completely during the jump. Elias looked out the view screen. They were no longer in the asteroid field. Instead, they were drifting near a small moon he recognized as one of the outer satellites of the gas giant in their solar system. We jumped much farther than I intended, Kaya said. The mining station is nowhere near here, but neither is the Vordari ship, Elias pointed out. How long before they find us again? Hours maybe, Kaya said. But we won't be able to jump again. The faster-than-light crystal has shattered completely. She gestured to a display showing the crystal core. The main crystal was still intact, but the smaller one that powered the jump drive was in pieces. Elias studied their position. We're actually not far from a different outpost, Waystation 12. It orbits this moon. They have better facilities than the mining station, including a small defensive system. Hope returned to Kaya's face, showing as blue patches on her skin. Can we reach it before the Vordari find us? Elias calculated the distance. Yes, I think so. But your ship is badly damaged. Will it hold together long enough? I don't know, Kaya admitted. The connection between me and the ship is weakening. I can feel it dying. Her words hit Elias hard. He had come to think of the ship as just technology. But to Kaya it was almost a living thing, an extension of herself. Then we'll need to be careful, he said gently. Use minimal power, just enough to get us to the way station. Kaya nodded and began to guide the ship toward the way station. Progress was slow. Systems failed one by one as they went. The hull integrity was compromised in several sections, and they had to seal off part of the ship completely. After an hour of careful navigation, the way station came into view. It was a wheel-shaped structure with a central hub and rotating outer ring. It wasn't large, but it had defensive capabilities and a proper medical facility. Elias used his outpost credentials to contact the way station. "This is Engineer Elias Novak from Outpost 47, requesting emergency docking and assistance." There was a pause before the response came. "Engineer Novak, our records show you should be at Outpost 47. Please explain your presence in this sector." Elias took a deep breath. It was time for the truth. "I am currently aboard an alien vessel. The pilot is injured and the ship is badly damaged. We are being pursued by a hostile alien warship. Request immediate docking and defensive preparations." Another longer pause followed. Elias could imagine the chaos his message had caused at the way station. Finally, a new voice responded, older, with the authority of command. "This is Station Commander Harper. Your request is granted, Engineer Novak. Approach Docking Bay 3. Our defensive systems are on alert. Please be advised that quarantine protocols will be in effect." "Understood, Commander," Elias replied. "Thank you." He turned to Kaya, who had been listening to the exchange. "They're letting us dock. But they'll be cautious. They've never met an alien before. Will they help us fight the Vordari?" Kaya asked. "I don't know," Elias answered honestly. "But they won't let the Vordari attack the station without a fight." Kaya guided her ship toward the indicated docking bay. The approach was difficult with the failing systems, but she managed it with skill born of long experience. The ship bumped roughly against the docking collar and warning lights flashed again. "That's the best I can do," Kaya said, exhausted. "The ship cannot move again without major repairs." Elias helped her from the control seat. She was weak, her skin pale and her movements slow. The strain of maintaining the connection with the damaged ship had taken a severe toll on her. "Lean on me," he said, supporting her as they made their way to the airlock. "It's going to be okay now." The airlock cycled, and they found themselves facing a group of humans in hazard suits, weapons drawn. "Please remain still for decontamination," a voice ordered through a speaker. Elias and Kaya stood still as scanning beams passed over them. After a moment, a green light flashed. "No dangerous pathogens detected," someone reported. "They're clear." The security team lowered their weapons slightly but remained cautious. One of them stepped forward, a tall woman with commander insignia on her suit. "I'm Station Commander Harper," she said, her voice the same one from the communication. "You must be Engineer Novak." Her eyes moved to Kaya, widening slightly but maintaining professional composure. "And you are the first alien visitor to any human station. Welcome." Kaya straightened as best she could and made a formal gesture, touching her forehead with 3 fingers. "I am Kaya of the Lasari. Thank you for your welcome, Commander Harper. Your ship appears severely damaged," Harper noted, "and you don't look well yourself." "My people have a biological connection to our ships," Kaya explained. "When the ship is damaged, I feel it." Harper nodded, processing this information. "Our medical team will attend to you both. Meanwhile, I need a full briefing on this hostile ship you mentioned." They were escorted to the medical bay where doctors examined them both. They had never seen a Lasari before, of course, but Kaya was able to explain her physiology enough for them to help her. The main treatment she needed was rest, time to recover from the strain of maintaining the ship's systems. While Kaya rested, Elias briefed Commander Harper and her security team. He explained everything: finding Kaya's ship, helping with repairs, the Vordari attack, and their desperate escape. "So these Vordari are actively hunting her?" Harper asked. "Yes," Elias confirmed. "And they'll attack humans too if we get in their way. They're aggressive and have advanced weapons." Harper's face was grim. "Our defensive systems are designed for asteroids and pirates, not alien warships. I've contacted Earth Central Command, but reinforcements are days away." Just then an alarm sounded. A security officer rushed in. "Commander, sensors have detected a large vessel approaching. It matches the description of the alien warship."